From the liberal Northeast comes a lone voice of truth. Honest commentary in dishonest times. Think deeper with Juan Newsom. This is the Cure Radio Program. This is the Cure.
We on?
Yeah.
We live and popping?
Yeah.
Good now? So, welcome to my page if you haven't been here before. But if you're here, you probably watched these videos at an earlier time. So, I find it so fascinating the social breakdowns that people go through, like the different levels of craziness and fear that everybody starts engaging in. And it's most interesting because it'll be seemingly sensible people who want you to change your behavior. You want you to modify how you talk because now you make them uncomfortable. Oh man, it ended my thing. Facebook was like, no, bitch, we're not going here right now. Let's see if I could do.
So you got to start over?
Yeah, it just ended my live feed. It said poor network. All right, let's start this over. Okay. COVID. It might be because I put COVID-19. I'm going to put Corona Festivus. Is it US Festivus?
I think so.
Let me tell you. Let's see. I think I deleted it. Anyways. Have you ever experienced, it's not coming through. Have you ever had the experience of when you're posting something on your own Facebook page? The connection is all beat up. Let's see. Can I do it? Fuck. What is happening?
Everybody's on Facebook.
Can I rename it later?
Huh?
Can I name it later?
I don't even know if you have to name it. I think you can.
True.
You see where Rand Paul has the coronavirus?
Well, look, you're just going to have to excuse the connection because a lot of people are on right now. So it is what it is. But as I was saying, have you ever had the experience on your own Facebook page where people will comment to you about what you should be commenting about or what you should be saying?
Yeah.
Or is that just unique to me?
No, that's not.
I find it so fascinating that people will come onto like, let me lay down the ground rules of what happens on my personal page. Like this right here, this is what I want to write. You have entered Facebook, which is like equivalent to not even like a public restroom. Facebook and Twitter are equivalent to like porta potties at an outdoor concert. Okay? So you're going to come on Facebook and want to talk logical and rational discussion about real stuff that's happening in the world? Like, what? First of all, you're not in the right zone for any of that stuff, right? This is all trash talking, personal opinion, Yes, I am from New York. Did you notice? But I'm living in Georgia. I'm trying to be Southern from time to time. Anyways, but did you notice that people like have totally lost their mind? You have totally lost your mind. It's day 7, people. It's day 7. How would anybody have dealt with like being incarcerated? Imagine you got like a 5-year sentence and on day 7 you're bugging out. It's just totally nonsensical. I have people. I put up this post and I did not know that it was going to be so controversial. I swear to God, I didn't know it was going to be so controversial. If I did, I would have prepared more. No, but what did I write? On my beautiful blue background text, which somebody tried to like say something negative about me using templates. It's on Facebook. The backgrounds are provided so that you can add pizzazz to your damn thing. So why would I not use it? Anyways, if you have a problem with whatever anybody on Facebook says, you have the right to protect from other people's opinions. And it's very simple. Don't watch them. Don't go on their page. Don't engage in conversation. Because what happens is you are the one with all the feelings. Like anything that I put up, half the time I put stuff up just to see what people would say. I don't even think too much about it. I'll come later and there's like 110 comments and people are fighting with each other. And it's, it is what it is. This is my social experiment. So while you're sludging around catching feelings, like literally I'm giggling in the background. So don't come on here and tell me what to say on my page because it is an individual point of view. And there's millions and millions of people with individual points of view. You don't have to agree. That's what makes it juicy. That's what makes it fabulous. Anyways, so I didn't realize hurtful my comment saying that the experimental drugs that they are just willy-nilly testing on people to see what works, maybe if something works, they're not cures. And if you listen to the experts, which many of you are so quick to point out that I'm not, and yet you still argue with me, so funny. If you listen to the experts like Dr. Fauci, if you listen to the president who has, input from all people all over the world, they're saying the same thing. Something we're just because we ain't got no other solutions. So don't feelings about it and be angry at me because I didn't post the link to some other information. I don't know who these doctors are, first of all. And second of all, even if doctors are reputable, doctors they prescribe you shit for shit you might not have. You tell them you have an ache and a pain, and they will give you a damn pill to take away the ache and pain. They didn't ask you about ask you about different ailments that you have. They prescribe you, they'll write you a script to help solve this acute. Ask you, for the most part, what are the underlying issues that might be happening in your life? So by all means, if you want to trust doctors, go trust doctors. If it makes you feel good and warm and go right ahead. But if he has a differing opinion on that, leave it on your page. Go to your page and have that conversation because you all have so much fear and pent up anxiety and stress about what's happening in the world, not in your own personal life, but in the world, that it is now seeping into how you engage with people. So let me ask you a question, Juan. How many of you still have the same number of friends that you had before last week? It took 7 days. I bet you ain't got those friend groups that you had before. I bet you that some of your family members sent you a message talking about you need to stay in your own house. I bet you money that you have people who you talk to on a regular basis freaking out and hating you right now. You don't feel how they feel, and they can't understand why you don't feel that way. And why is it that you hope of the world when people are struggling right now? And blah, 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 blah. Okay, go find that group. Go find those people. I'm not those people. I'm people who will hurt your feelings because you're acting irrational. You know what you ever seen those movies where somebody's acting hysterical in a situation and the other person's I'm the person who slaps you. Don't be mad that you get slapped on Facebook. It's Facebook. It is the sewage of all the internet. Why you get pissy angry about Facebook?
I would say Twitter is the sewage, but go ahead.
You know what you call a medical graduate in their last class? What? Tell me. A resident? I don't know. Anyways, so aside from losing all your friends and family this week, you know, they don't want your infectious ass in their clean house, supposedly, allegedly. Same people who went out and bought toilet paper and ain't got a square to spare. You ask people.
Exactly.
They're like, I can't spare a pump. I can't spare any of my hand sanitizer. Meanwhile, you cross-contaminate like a motherfucker. You touch this, you touch your keyboard, you touch your screen, you type on your iPad, you pet your dog's ass, you wipe your face, and you're talking about, I have enough hand sanitizer to make it through. Like, hand sanitizer is not helping you, but if you feel good using it, do it. Use it. But when you get grime and shit on your hands, like, you need to wash them with soap and water effectively. Like, essentially, that's what you need to do. Rubbing hand sanitizer on top of it leaves dirt with, like, what is it? An alcohol-y, lemony smell on top. Like, that doesn't do anything, and it's not helping you. But if it makes you feel good, go do it. I'm not going to take your hand sanitizer away. I don't want you all to be crushed that, you know, the methods you're currently using are not effective, but, you know, for your mental health and well-being, go for it if that's what you want to do. But I will say one thing, and it is a I told you so situation, so, you know, be forewarned. I come out here and I consistently tell you about having a stable mindset, positive mindset, having positive and balanced emotions. If you watch any of my tarot readings, you will see I always talk about having balanced emotions when you deal with other people, being able to express love, forgiveness, being sorry, being repenting. I always express doing yoga, doing exercises, anything to get your body in shape, active, and being overall balanced as a regular routine in your life. Okay. Now there's a situation. Now it's a problem because now people are sick and infectious and whatever else happens. So now all want to fight and be scared and be afraid and be like on 10, like nth level of just hyper. What did Cuomo say? That like manic and just going overboard because you don't practice how to be healthy on a regular, consistent basis. So shit goes down where your immune system and proper hygiene and all of that comes into play. You want somebody to give you a quick cure, and then you don't want people to say that that's not a cure and you feel like you're gonna die. You wouldn't have to go through that emotional roller coaster if you were just consistently healthy on a regular basis and practice good hygiene. So whatevs. It is what it is, Juan. It is what it is. But the psychological effect that this has been having on people is quite fascinating to watch. And the fact that people want me to post links and post articles and forward, leading experts' point of views is nonsense. You don't know how to step back and analyze a situation and give your perspective on things? I mean, seriously. Everybody could complain about, don't tread on my freedoms. Don't complain about Trump. Obama did this better. He's a liar. Everybody got a point of view. But when you express a point of view contrary to their point of view, then they're on the attack, and then they're scared, and then they're crazy. But why?
That's exactly right. It's irrational.
Insanity. It's irrational. You want to know what's irrational? All the Google MDs that have showed up in the past week. Everybody's an expert. Everybody is caught up on drugs for malaria, drugs for Ebola, the history and efficacy in the 70 years they've been using malaria drugs. Last blah, blah, blah years, they've been using these drugs. You know what I saw? I literally saw a post that said, just drink tonic water, quinine water, tonic. Like, you are gonna bust a kidney and freaking get brittle bones by drinking the amount of quinine water that you would have to drink in order to have any effect on anything related to getting rid of a illness that attacks the lungs. It's just ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. The fact that you people could put so much energy into researching shit or may not be true, instead of actually taking care of your own health and well-being in a duration of time when you have the fucking ability to build up your immune system before shit hits the fan, is mind-blowing. You would rather take 20 weight loss pills, sign up for gyms that you never go to, buy equipment that you never use, than actually take a walk outside with your dog. You know how many people I know in the city that have dogs that buy wee-wee pads so that they don't have to walk the dog? The same people who go smoke a vape and now they're all scared that they're going to get coronavirus. You probably are. You probably are. I'm sorry. You all are going to be scared about that comment, but you probably are. You know why? Because you're crazy. That's what happens to crazy people. You become susceptible to shit you don't want. It's just the reality. Am I wrong? Am I wrong about it?
You're not wrong at all.
They're nuts. They're nuts. You want to take Ebola and malaria medicine. Listen to that. Think about that. Do you know what those drugs do to the body? Do you know? You don't know because they haven't posted it yet. Why don't you read some research papers, actual scientific research papers, instead of copying and pasting links from CNN? You hate CNN. Most of you on here complain about how wrong fake news CNN is. But one thing about a drug that is supposedly going to cure everything, if it was the truth, if those things were the truth, why would Andrew Cuomo be asking the federal government and FEMA to help build 4 pop-up hospitals in New York City and to get supplies for over 100,000 people who may potentially be ill? Why? Why, if they found the cure in 6 days, 100% effective? Why? Does the actions make sense with the rhetoric? There's a major disconnect when New York City is locked down, but supposedly, allegedly, France has found a cure. 100%, which nothing is 100% effective. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does it make sense? Am I the only crazy person and everybody else is like freaking out rationally? Like, what's happening here?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the fear is just set in. The fear has become more powerful or more potent than the virus.
Absolutely. The fear has definitely become more powerful. So this is what happens, right? And this is medically, scientifically proven. You could go read a study about it. You don't have to take my word for it. But what happens to your body when you are afraid is that your autonomic nervous system, your hormones, and cuts off the thinking brain, and you go into fight or flight mode. So this happens, and it's a short period of time with a boost of adrenaline, a boost of hormones that help you to gain the strength to either run faster than you've ever run before, if you've ever been in a situation where you've been super scared and your eyes dilate so you could see more, you could take in more about your surroundings. Your hearing fucking disappears. I don't know if you've ever been, I'm from the hood. I've been in scary situations. And when a bitch gotta run, you can't hear nothing. Like if you see those war movies and the sound goes out straight up, that's how it feels. And you get that rush of adrenaline. So the senses that you need to fight or flight kick in. But the other portion of that is that your thinking, rational mind shuts off because you don't need to think. You need to go. You need to take action, to save your life. So, okay, now you're the type of person that is living in that fear mode for a long 7 days or longer is a long time living with fear. And you're fucking irrational because your brain shut off because you're everything. You're afraid, you're going to catch it and die, which that's not even the case. We probably already got it. The little cough you had, what you probably already had. If you have a kid, hands down, you already got it. You're going to take that test and you're going to have antibodies because you already had it. You've already had it. You've already been exposed. But people think like it's a death sentence. It's like worse than AIDS. I mean, it's worse than in their mind.
Mm-hmm.
It is,
mm-hmm.
And it's so insane.
I think we'll be locked down for a few weeks and people are just going to get tired of it.
Yeah.
People are already tired of it. I give it another week before they demand reopenings. It's just not.
Yeah.
I was telling this young kid at Burger King today, I said, this isn't going to last long. He's a young fellow, too. He had to been in his teens. I said, you don't understand. Americans are, A, do not like people telling them what to do, and B, do not like inconveniences. I said, give it another week, and you'll see significant changes.
Absolutely. People cannot live in this state or frame of mind for any duration of time. And it's funny because the older people, right? Millennials, blah, blah, blah. They never had to deal with anything in their life. They don't know hard shit. Millennials don't know this. Millennials don't know that. They got to be there. Well, yo, you know what those little fuckers are doing? Spring breaking it out. You know where they at during this time? Playing basketball, going to the beach, enjoying their spring break. And the rest of us want to kill them.
Yeah.
because it's so disrespectful when we're like in a state of panic and craze that they're not. Like we want everybody to be suffering with us, right? If we see somebody with 4 packs of toilet paper on their shopping and they cleared out the meat section, like we ready to go for blows because you have a sense that they're taking so much away from you and then you're going to be strapped and we have a sense that these kids aren't taking it serious and they're going to kill us all, and it just snowballs into Nutsville. And the other thing I will warn you all about, which I've mentioned before, but I will warn you about, the death ticker, okay? The death ticker is not your friend. If you have downloaded the app of how many people have died, how many people are sick, you need to delete it from your phone you are not gaining anything. Not perspective, not sanity with the death ticker. It's one of the most atrocious things that they actually could have developed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no death ticker on mass shootings, death ticker on gangs. There's no death ticker on cancer.
It's creating
There's no
more
death
panic.
ticker. All death ticker is doing is making you're going to be one of those people on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
When all experts, and if you look at the breakdowns, I think 70% or more, or 80%, are people who are elderly who were already sick, already had underlying conditions. If you're not in that group, then why are you watching the death tolls tick up? That shit is so morbid. And then, because I don't do that, they're like, but look at the death toll, but look at it. Like, okay, relax. Dying all over the world for many different reasons. That's one reason. How many people got killed in car accidents?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows that number.
Yeah.
You know,
it's going to be far more than this. Even when
this
you look,
is, and
even when
well,
you look at the swine flu, like we were talking the other day,
exactly.
12,000 people or more died from the swine flu. I
Yeah.
don't think we're going to get anywhere near that number, especially since they have, it looks like they have some medicines that are going to help flush the virus out of people now. So it's, I don't see where all the panic is coming from. I think if, people just take this time out and just kind of stop pointing fingers,
Exactly.
we'll be better off.
What people should actually be focusing on is how you could help yourself once we're over this situation, right? There's a lot of people who lost their jobs. Yep. So we're all in the no job having boat, right? Let's just say 80% of people, or probably 60% of people, lost their jobs. You ain't getting it back. What are you going to do next? Education system has completely come to a halt, right? So how are you going to learn, and what are you going to learn? Like, what are you planning to teach your kids? I went through, because we're all homeschooling now, I had to go through and review the work that they were getting. And I'm like, all right, some of it I understand. Whatever they need to keep up with online is fine. But fuck Common Core. Didn't we all hate Common Core? Didn't we think it was the worst shit in the world to have kids confused about how to add and multiply numbers?
Yeah.
There's no freaking way I'm teaching any of that. Group these numbers, add these numbers, the number. I'm not teaching none of that shit. I'm teaching 2 plus 2 and 2 times 2 and divide by 2 and then what do you get? Like, I'm teaching the basics of the basics so that when they go back to school, they got some damn sense that they learn, because the teachers were held to these Common Core practices that really just frustrated the shit out of parents, because we had to learn how to do it too. I didn't know how to do it. And then frustrated the kids because it was the most confusing method on teaching a kid how to work with numbers.
It made no sense.
They don't even teach phonics. Phonics, like sounding out words, short A's, long A's. They don't do none of that stuff. So now you want to be upset. Well, some people are upset because you got to be home with your kid. You don't got to teach your kid what the teacher was teaching your kid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Listen, let me tell you my strategy on dividing and conquer 2 kids, 2 different grade levels. Okay. The little one, she's in kindergarten, in pre-K, right? She needs to know how to pronounce and enunciate words. Okay. All that little baby talk shit, I'm not into it. Speak English. Learn how to speak proper English. So I can understand you and not be upset when you're talking to me and I'm like, what? That's rule number 1. You have to know numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 100. Okay? You should at least be able to get up to 100 because it's all repetition. And you should be able to recognize basic words. Now, basic words for me were different than they are for her. She loves Roblox. How do
Yeah,
we
my
work?
kids too. Mhm.
How do we work? Well, like 90% of kids in the US are all on Roblox. So how do you use Roblox as a teaching mechanism? I wrote that words on Roblox, there's categories that your kids pick from, right? So they could be mermaids, they could be cute. They have to choose hair, and they could build their own little communities and towns and all that stuff.
Mhm.
If she needs to find a roof for the building she wants to build, straight up, we're sounding out the roof, and I'm showing her what the little tab looks like and how to swipe to get to it, so that next time she don't have to ask me how to find a roof for her buildings that she's creating.
Mhm.
And every time they have to, so then that's like, teaching the word connection. What the words look like, sight words, right? So sight words may not be the, can, and at. They're going to be princess, mermaid, cool, dude. And when she has to write something or she wants to play with her friends, I show her how to press the little microphone so that it could automatically type to text. And then she has me look at it to make sure what she said is actually what's going out in the message. But the only way to do that effectively is for her to enunciate words. So you see, it all ties in together. It ain't teaching at school teaching. It's teaching like common shit that they want to accomplish, but they still got to learn about the world type of stuff,
Yeah.
And the older one, I'm like, listen, this is how you do it. Well, how do I know if it's right or wrong? You ask Siri. Siri, how much finds this? They have so many tools at their disposal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
You don't have to kill yourself trying to figure out antiquated methods of teaching your kid regular shit that they need to know. I ask Siri about everything. I ask Siri how to get to Walmart, and I go to Walmart almost every day. But I don't care. I want Siri to put the little map on the thing for me, and that's it. That's how I roll. I know how to get to Walmart, but I love the map in front of me, and I like talking to Siri. Like, yo, Siri, reroute me to Dunkin' Donuts. And Siri does it. Did I lose brain matter in that practice? No. I'm the tools that are afforded to me.
This is The Cure.